So I want to do a video explaining the Stargate system and how the churches and frequency and where the churches are placed in town, especially the Catholic ran churches and the older buildings, and how it relates and has to do with this Earth grid system, also known as the Stargate system. So the Stargate system is an informational download system. It is an arc device. It is a dome, an Eden, a ascension device, Jacob's ladder. It is also like a type of it's called the broken arrow device, which is actually a nuclear device, but it's not actually nuclear technology. It's more like antiparticle. It has the cloak of the fleece, arc of the fleece. Actually, I think I have this information that I got from the Azurite Press. You can look at this information yourself. I just got it from the Azurite Press. And so basically what the arc does, it does a bunch of different things. It's probably in my binder. It does a bunch of different things. Ugh, I'm not going to get it right now. It's in my binder. It's like under a bunch of books. It's the arc of the fleece, the cloak of invisibility. It does all kinds of crazy stuff. But in any case, my husband just brought me tea. Oh, it's coffee. My Scorpio cup. So anyways, basically, this device can be ran by certain Christos individuals. If you do not have one single soul essence Christos level of the sun avatar, then it can be ran by 3 lower level, 9th level avatars, which are 2 females and 1 male. And this Ark of the Covenant device is the video that I have called Illuminati Game. And that is from the links, the missing links, the Lincolns here in town had that picture in their display window, which is sadly, actually, it's sad that they went out of business. I thought it was sad that they went out of business because they've been there for so long. But in any case, this device, it runs on a grid system. I'm probably going to have to get my papers out because I think I have to do some visuals. It runs on a grid system, and the grid system is... That's it. The grid system, sorry, I'm taking too long. Bitch, hurry up. The grid system, it looks like, I found it. Basically, maybe I have like, I'm just a really messy person. I'm a messy. Hold on. Okay, so the actual Stargate site, which is on the river, is like actually set up like this. The artificial tree of life, the tree of eternal life, and the tree of life. There's 3 different trees. So, this reminded my husband's. The people that do all this crazy stuff, like at this church, I swear, they kicked us out of their church in less than like 3 minutes. And all I did was ask why they were doing the egg hunts. Is it, is supposed to be pagan? Like, is there something that you don't know that I don't? And they were like, we met privately and decided that if you don't like what we were doing, that you need to find a different church. And I'm like, damn, just like that. Like, I know these people stuff was for. They did our marriage counseling. They married us. They baptized us. Come on, that's some dirty shit. So the Ark of the Covenant. Ark of the Fleece device. Maybe I don't know where this stupid thing is. But in any case, I have a picture of the Eye Witch. And Eye Witch is basically, it almost looks like this actually. It's Tony Robbins, but it almost looks like that. And it's like a place where they trickle blood into a device. And there's, if you Google 13th Pillar Ark device or Ark of the Covenant, Google, and my video will pop up on Google, but down at the bottom, it will have a different name, like a man's name, that, like somebody put it, like it's attached to my video. Copy, paste that name or write it down and then search that name, and then you'll find, I should just add it, I gotta find it. But it was him on his deathbed talking about the Ark of the Covenant device and how they used it. And then what it really was an ark with the leaders at the time on this planet, the rulers at the time on this planet, and the gods of Sirius, the Syrian gods. And so basically, it runs on like a system, and if you look into the Catholic churches, you will find that they all have that same circle in the center of their cathedrals. And in the Bible, it's very clear about the people who meet in cathedrals and in tombs, and all tombs or all cathedrals in the pulpits have those, what are they called? relics. Well, they're relics, but they're bones. They're bones of saints. So that's what they're talking about, where they meet in the graveyards and the tombs, and people who do like their crossroads ceremonies that go to the graveyards and stuff like that. I think they're talking to like dead relatives. Nope, it's not true. Sorry, folks. I know you miss your family members, and I do too, but that shit's bullshit. So, I can't find it. Whatever. I have my internet. I brought my laptop out here, so I'll just try to find it. So the churches are built on this system, and it's circular, and the cross is a device. It's golden. They hang the person on the cross. The blood drips down off of them, this avatar, and then it goes down into the arc device. It goes through a system. It goes down to the arc device. It drips on it, and it activates it. It has to do with the fire in the blood, which is why they crucify them, because they need all the adrenaline in the blood to give it that fire. So, which is a lot of what people experience in worship or in anointings, their fire in their blood actually being activated. So, basically, all the churches are actually on this grid. So what this frequency machine does at the river, and at the other portion of it is at the post office, but it has not been used yet. And what it does is it puts out a frequency, which is almost like a mind control machine. So basically, it's like putting out a channel. And everybody that goes into these churches, they're all tuning in to the same channel. And they're feeding that vortex. They're feeding that false reality, false consciousness, false sense of bliss that people are getting while they're in church. So there's an exchange happening where you're getting blissed, but your power is leaving. Now, let's go into the word church. And I'll do a separate video on this so that people can search it or whatever, but I'll just briefly go into church. The word church comes from the goddess Circe, which comes from the Cecil family. The Cecil family is the Illuminati family. I use that word very loosely. The elite family, royal family that you will never really hear about. Not never, I shouldn't use absolutes, but you will rarely hear about them. Somebody sent me Children of Lucifer by the Prophecy Club, which is just kind of like more propaganda to me, but the information is in there. And he goes into a lot of the Cecil family. Now, the Cecils were also the Thugsburgs, which are the original thugs, which are the original gangsters on this planet, which were from India, the thugs from India, and you can look into that. And basically, when the Rothschilds got big enough, because I mean, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, these people are way above them. The Cecils, the Thugsburg, that's like way higher than the people that you know of as the so-called Illuminati. So when the Rothbergs, going like too many. Was Rothbergs right at one point, but you don't probably know that. So the Rothschilds, when they actually, and which is kind of like Rothschilds is like a totally new name, Ruth's children. Basically, when they got rich enough and they got enough status, they were able to finally marry into this bloodline. And the Cecils were during the time of the queen, she gave, the original queen, Elizabeth I, she divvied up all of the commodities in the world to these elite families. And the Cecils were given heroin, opium. And I watched in 2002, I actually watched in Afghanistan, the leaders of Afghanistan doing a big celebration and everything. They're like, we're so proud, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because they were like the world's #1 heroin distributor. And they always have been. And so that's Afghanistan. Who do you think they distribute this to? Pharmaceuticals. So RX sorcery potions. Hello, come on. So basically, that's interesting that you find out that Cecil is Afghanistan. And then Cecil is Circe. Now this is a goddess that, and even if you don't believe in these goddesses and you don't believe in this, a lot of Christians, like, I'm not gonna, like Tiffany said to me when I was telling her about this, I'm not gonna study any pagan religion, any paganism. Well, then you don't care to save anybody or to talk to anybody or relate to anybody, because no one wants to hear your Christian story that's been told a million times. Okay, and if you say you're out to like save people or like convert people even, how can you convert them if you don't know what they believe? Like, that's a really basic equation. Just real quick, I'll break it down. It's called CARE. Contact, ask questions, recommend, then encourage. How can you help somebody if you have not contacted them? Say hello, how are you doing? Introduce yourself. If you have not asked them questions, how do you know what they need. So once you've asked them questions and you've found out about them and you found out what they need, then you can recommend something and then you can encourage. It's a really simple equation, people. So, Cecil, does this ring a bell? If you watch Game of Thrones, Circe might ring a bell. So Circe, she has this twin brother, get it? Hymen the Virgin. Anyways, so Circe is a goddess. Oh, I just want to back up really quick. So in the Bible, it's people, Christians and biblical people, if you don't actually accept that there used to be these goddesses on this planet, then you need to think about your Mary Magdalene story, and that one of the Romans who impregnated her and then had her raped and beaten, and she on her way to Rome, and when she finally got to Rome, that general was, he wasn't like a general, he was more like a lieutenant or something. He was actually, nope. She went to Rome, and she then became like a concubine, and to Herod's, one of Herod's wife's concubines that she would manipulate men with. And that is the story of Salome doing the dance and stuff like that. In order to get revenge on that Roman who had raped her and made her lose her baby and basically put the 7 devils in her, which shut down her chakra systems, the 7 seals. They shut down, so they put the seals back on. The 7 demons guard the seals. And so it like shut her down, put her to sleep in a sense, and she wasn't able to heal anymore, which she could heal without medicine. And basically, it introduces him as offspring of the goddess Versailles, which is the goddess of truth. And there's a really good, she's like a cat goddess. They show her very clearly in Supernatural. That was awesome. At the very end, her cat eyes flash. I'm like, try to make it look reptilian, but I'm like, cat eyes! And she likes to eat the tongue, because that's where the lies roll off. And so I liked that part. It was funny. She liked to kill men, and then men that were liars, and she would go after them and eat their tongues, because those tasted the best. She said that's where the lies roll off. It was funny. But in any case, it's an episode of Supernatural. I think it was like Quest for Truth. Someone who wants truth so bad, this goddess, you can summon her, and she'll actually cause all the truth to come to you, but it's like overly in this particular episode of Supernatural, which I'm fairly new to that show still. So anyways, goddess Circe invites people into her home, hypnotizes them, and then, it's just not hypnotizing, I'm just saying, because like, woo, woo, woo. She hypnotizes them, and then turns them into beasts, and then she devours their soul, their light, their life force. So that's your church, okay? Church, and also comes from the Greek word kirk, which means circle. And so, and which circle, and it's part of the name Circe, because this was one of the most famous witches of all time. So that is interesting to find out, that if you understand that church means Circe, comes from kirk, from goddess Circe, who used to invite people into her house, hypnotize them, turn them into beasts, and then devour them and steal their energy. And so when you're going to church, everybody's tuning in, you're clapping your hands. Your hands are very important. When you clap them, if you could see through your energetic eyes, when you clap your hands, it goes like this. Okay? Every time you clap your palms together, because there's power in your palms. That's why the Egyptians show them getting power from the sun. That's why in the Man of Steel, Superman movie, it shows him looking at the sun, and he says he gets his power from the sun, and he puts his hand up, and you just see the sun hitting his hand, and he's gaining energy from the sun. Okay? So they're basically getting you to expel this energy and feed it into this grid system, which is very real. Just do some research on the Earth grid and on the net. It's called the net. I've heard it referred to as the Martian net, or the veil, also called the veil. So that's a little bit on the church. So when you're going to church and you're tuning into this frequency with everybody else, which is a false frequency, it's Jesus. It's not Jesus Christos. It's just Jesus, somebody else. And you're clapping, and everybody's expelling their energy. And then that is why, Christians not really getting like what they used to, because since the Stargates were opened, they've been stealing all this energy from Christians. So it was set up to be something, and then now it's become that. And Christians feel like, around here, of all religions, can feel that there is something wrong, but they don't know what it is. And that's what it is. It's that somebody is actually stealing your Christos from you. and you don't even know that you have it. Most people don't even know that they are this or that they have it. A lot of people, you know, like around this town, especially because this is sacred land and it's holy land here, they're going to be drawn here. They're going to not be able to leave. They'll leave and then they come back. But that happens in a lot of small towns, but it's a little bit different in this town, and people talk about it. They call this place Vihelia, like a Valhalla, or Wazella, and there's Vihelia for a reason. We call it Vihelia for a reason. So just a little bit on the church system, what that means, and how it works. I recommend, there's a guy named Cass who calls into Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, and I recommend if you can catch him on there. I think he comes on Dr. Becker's, a mad painter, his show on Sunday afternoons, which is Pacific Standard Time. I think it's 9 to 12. So you can call in anywhere from like 10:30, 11 to 12. Usually he'll open the lines up and have people come talk, and he will usually call in if you talk about this, these quantum vectors. Crazy story about me and quantum vectors. This is just so weird. I'll do a different story on me and quantum vectors another time, but my knowledge of the Stargate that was like already in my DNA that I knew in high school is just blowing my mind right now because it's just crazy. But check it out on St. John's River. You cannot see it on Google Map or Google Satellite, but I tell you what you can see on Google Map or Google Satellite is you can zoom in, and the Google watermark will say Tree God. Instead of saying Google, it says Tree God, where the circle of 6 trees are by the teardrop shape, which is also in Washington, D.C. On the Kundalini stamp. It has a Masonic stamp on it. But it says Tree God. And if you're zoomed in all the way and then get your the second to last time and then zoom in again. Second to last time is Tree God. And then zoom in again. And we have some pictures. We took pictures of the computer just in case Google changes it. And we got a magnifying glass. I'm like, whoa, hold on a second. I'm thinking of a magnifying glass. We're in my office. So I grab a magnifying glass. I put it over there. We're like, no way. My husband's like, do you see that? I'm like, I do, but maybe it's just distorted. I mean, I looked really closely, and it looks like, I don't want to break my computer here. It's not mine. It looks like, I will get it, just a second. Okay, it looks like, Jesus Lord, I forgot what I was going to draw. That's the key of Osiris and Isis with the trident. Awesome! Which is the key of Isis is actually on my palm. Can't see it when I don't draw it in, but it's there. It goes there, 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 there. It's got 2, and then it comes down with the X on it. So anyways, holy crap, I have to like go back in the video. I'll remember. It's like way early in the morning. So, I was talking about too many things. Gosh darn it. Now you're going to be like, damn her. This is going long enough anyways. Oh gosh, I can't believe I just forgot that. So anyways, I got this. I'm trying to think of like, oh my god, I was just going to draw something. I'll come back and do it. This is supposed to be about the goddess Circe in church, but I will draw what it looks like. It's like, this is what the little blood letting thing is called, and it's a picture, if you look it up, Witch. Witch. And it even has like a dead guy right here, and he looks like a mason, and he has a little apron, and his arms are out, and it has his blood draining into it. Okay, and so at least I got to show you that a little bit. That's called Witch, and you can find it. And, oh, the river site of 666. You'd have been really irritated if I didn't show you how God is 666, right? I'm ruining my chair. My gold chair. So, okay, it was like this. It was like this. I have to do it because it's something I don't draw all the time. Here, the G went like this. And then the O went like this. And then the D went like this. And then that's what the watermark looks like. So you can put your Google eyes on and look around if you want. Sorry that took so long.